What's going on, guys? Happy Friday, and it is a pretty happy Friday. We've got Bitcoin breaking out, hitting new all-time highs, and we had news that yesterday Bitcoin and Ether spot ETFs clocked their second biggest day of inflows on record. And yesterday, on Thursday, the spot Bitcoin ETFs saw inflows of 1.17 billion, 448 million coming from BlackRock, their IBIT fund, and 324 million coming from Fidelity's fund, or coming to, I should say. These were near record inflows, and the spot Bitcoin ETFs have been going on for over a year, so that's pretty good news. This is second to the 1.37 billion that was recorded on November 7. And we've got a coincidence. Ether ETFs also saw their second highest net inflow, a net inflow of $383 million. And in a post today, Nate Gerasi of Nova Dias Wealth Management said that this near record inflow occurred despite legacy financial advisors' hesitation to even offer these ETFs, such as Vanguard, which I am a Vanguard user, and I'm disappointed that they don't offer these still. You could buy Bitcoin miners there, you could buy MicroStrategy there, but no spot Bitcoin ETFs. Hopefully soon this changes. And here's a little tidbit on scarcity. In the last 24-hour ETH net issuance, this is the Ethereum that has come into the market, 2,110 ETH, or $6 million worth. While, as we said, yesterday's inflow for ETH was 383 million. And look at the issuance of Bitcoin. In the same period that Strategy and these spot Bitcoin ETFs have collectively bought $28 billion worth of Bitcoin, the new issuance of Bitcoin during that time is 7.85 billion. Yes, Bitcoin is scarce, and more Bitcoin is being absorbed by these spot Bitcoin ETFs, publicly traded companies like MicroStrategy, than the Bitcoin that is even being produced day by day. And here's something funny. Peter Schiff says to sell Bitcoin for silver, as Bitcoin not only smashes new highs, but as Bitcoin tops silver in market cap. And here it is. Bitcoin is now the 6th largest asset by market cap, only behind Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, and the top, gold. It has passed silver again. This isn't the first time. But you know, if you would have taken Peter Schiff's advice, you would have likely never even bought Bitcoin. Bitcoin at the beginning of the cycle was $15,000. Peter Schiff is never going to turn to Bitcoin. He's always going to say there's something better out there, despite the proof that Bitcoin has outperformed pretty much everything. Maybe he'll be bullish more towards the top. We've got bears in disbelief as $1 billion in shorts get liquidated. And this is $1 billion in short positions, not just of Bitcoin, but also Ethereum and other alts. $570 million worth of Bitcoin shorts and $206 million in Ether were liquidated. Fear and greed index, we are getting towards greed. It is slowly ticking up. Something to be aware of. Also, the RSI on the daily is becoming a bit overbought, but check this out. Last time we saw an even more overbought RSI on the 10th of May, we were here, saw a little consolidation, and then rallied about another $10,000, which is basically what brought us somewhat of a double top, a bearish divergence on the RSI. These aren't perfectly lined up, but look at the tops here versus the tops here. There's a huge divergence, and we did pull back. Keep an eye on divergences. And be aware that just because we're a bit overbought doesn't mean we can't go higher before cooling down. But do tread carefully. After this beautiful move, we are now about 27% away from my price target of 150,000 for Bitcoin. I think it's very possible and very plausible that we see that still. Maybe a little consolidation first. I would love to see some consolidation. I would love to see Bitcoin actually cool down and find support above the all-time high. Consolidate here for a while, establish a good base, and then blast off again. I would not prefer to see it just continuing to run, because once we do get a pullback, there won't be any supports established besides under all-time high. But following Bitcoin's cycle, we should have some good days ahead. I do still think that 150K is very achievable for Bitcoin. A 27-28% move for Bitcoin is nothing as we finish off this cycle. Whether it actually hits or not is anyone's guess, but I do think it's very possible. And very likely, actually. But let me know how you guys are feeling this weekend. The Bitcoin miners were a bit mixed today. Some are red, some are very green. Not only is Q2 earnings going to look fantastic because of Bitcoin's price and how it is increased over that quarter. We're talking about right around here was Q2. Also, we're off to a very good start for Q3. This could mean 2 consecutive profitable quarters for the Bitcoin miners, for a lot of the Bitcoin plays, as Bitcoin continues to hit new prices, as Bitcoin overall improves and gains throughout the rest of the Q3 now. But thanks as always for watching, guys. Hopefully you have a good weekend. If you made it this far, consider hitting the like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.